All right, boom. Are we live? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, boom. We're here. Taylor, what's up, man?
Dude, not a lot, but a lot at the same time. There's been a lot going on this weekend. I'm like decompressing right now.
Yeah.
I need to move this, by the way, real quick before we really get going? The mic.
Just look at your thing on there and make sure that both the green lines are not going over that circle.
All right, hold up. Yeah, it looks. Yeah, I think we're good.
Okay. All right. Did you go to the game on yesterday?
Yeah, I went till like halftime, and dude, I couldn't. Like, I sat in the student section for the first like half of the first quarter, and I was about to die because I was standing up the whole time and just feeling like I couldn't do it. So I went to the like complete opposite side and sat with my brother and his like girlfriend's family in the shade, and which was like almost worse because having to like talk to them and
dude,
it was just a lot.
Like, that could have been like one of the best games I think I've ever been to in terms of like in the past recent years. Mm-hmm. I was stressing that last like. Dude,
I heard the last few minutes were
the last
good.
like 10 minutes of the quarter were so stressful because I mean they had the ball with like 5 minutes left, and I was like, okay, they're gonna because they were moving the ball too. They were moving it, and I just started worrying. But then when they got that final turnover with like 20 seconds left, I mean, just the atmosphere of being on that is just.
Dude, I didn't even watch once I left. I came home, started watching the Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix.
How far are you into that?
Episode 3.
Dude, I'm already done with. I'm already done with it. I finished it in like 2 days.
I have to be in like a certain mood to watch it because it's like so fucking weird.
Yeah, he was a strange dude. Man. He was weird,
very strange.
But it's a really good show.
It's well made, like very like
the
whole time I was talking about it with this girl. Shit, like the tension the whole time is like you're like this like. Oh shit! Like the whole time,
it keeps you interested the whole time. But I want to talk about for a little bit about. I know you're very active on social media, and you're all that. The videos, those things are incredible.
Thank you, brother.
But tell me, like, what got you into that, and what made you want to get started with all that.
So I'll give you like kind of a short answer real quick, and then I'll kind of dive in. I kind of like got into it really when I started making trampoline videos, like. Early 2015, but like now that like I look back, like I have pictures going back, like my first iPod I have, like I have shit going back from like when I was like 6, 7, like didn't even realize like I was doing that, like without even thinking, like whenever like just going on my land, like hunting with my dogs, I would like record videos of doing that just randomly, and then like I recorded trampoline stuff when I was like really little, like not even before, like way before Instagram and stuff, like just as I would like watch to like critique my stuff, and that's really what I did like more early on. Like I was watching like just to like I'd be like, oh, like I didn't set high enough for that flip, I need to fix that, and then go back. And then I saw this one kid, his name's Jake Rashears, shout out Jake, one of my good friends. He was posting like trampoline videos too, and I was like, damn, like I do the same stuff, like let's do it. And literally just started posting then, and it like I was talking about this with my mom last week, actually, because we were talking about pledge stuff and just college and how, like, she asked me if I didn't want to do that. I'm like, dude, I couldn't. Like, now especially. Like, I was debating on going to school, like, that fall, and I started posting videos, like, that spring, and I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm homeschooled. Like, my whole life has been around, like, gymnastics, like, martial arts stuff, like, doing this. Like, why would I, like, give that up now if I'm just getting into this new thing now? So I just, like, stuck with it.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so glad
I wish I had like something I could pull videos up, but all the stuff that you do over down by the intramural fields, like we're all like
calisthenic stuff.
That is unbelievable. Like,
thank you, dude.
I mean, I can never do that in a million years if I tried. But when I watch that,
we'll get you on it.
We'll try it one day. But that is ridiculous amount. Is that all upper body strength and
dude? I tell people a lot, I'm like, it's all in your shoulder stuff. And then, like, I do a new movement, I'm like, damn, that was a lot more in my core. Yeah. It's, like, your whole body. And it's, like, stuff, it's, like, all the muscles you have, but just you use them in ways you never do. Like, when I was first starting, I've kind of, like, had, like, a decent amount of, like, strength my whole life, because starting at about 7, doing gymnastic stuff, like, training body weight stuff for tumbling, like, my coach's rule was we would like warm up and like work out. We would warm up and stretch for probably 45 minutes in the morning, and then like do bodyweight workouts for like an hour before we ever started any tumbling or any trampoline stuff to like have our bodies kind of beat down. So then like when you needed to do fresh, it was like not even thinking about it. So kind of like had that kind of built into me, I guess. But I was always the worst kid at handstands with that shit. Believe it or not, when I was training that when I was little. And then just randomly like got into it like 2018 and just literally on a chair on my pool deck started trying to press and just over time and boredom.
Do you still train that like on like a daily, not like a, just like occasionally, like do you still go, like I know you still go out there like a couple times and do it, but how often do you like go out there and,
like calisthenic stuff? 5 times a week.
So it's like an everyday sort
yeah
of
dude
thing,
I
like,
love it.
yeah.
Like it's so fun. I like it now a lot of days, like if I take a rest day from the like weight training to go do that, just because it like decompresses your brain, but it's also like working your body and stuff. And I don't know, it's just a different type of training. Like it's totally different.
Yeah, because when people talk about like training and working out and stuff, you never really think about something like that and thinking like doing all those crazy, like it looks like pull-ups and like handstands.
Dude, there's so many different ways to train, like so much. Like I got into swimming a lot this summer.
Dude, great. I did something where like we had to like tread water for like probably like 4 or 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, that doesn't really sound too bad. But then like around like the 2-minute mark, I was like, good Lord, what is that?
It's a Boom Boom nasal inhaler. It's like mint flavored to like just clear your sinuses up.
Are those on like Shark Tank?
Maybe.
I think I might have seen those.
I think they were actually, yeah. But dude, they're like the best thing in the world. It's like my strange addiction. Like I fucking love these things.
And you said you've been doing that ever since you were probably like a kid.
Yeah, I mean, like kind of without realizing, like doing it with the gymnastics stuff, just as that was like a part of the training to be able to do flipping, because that was like my main focus. And then kind of like just as I got older, like wanted to develop body more, and that was just a way that I kind of already knew, because my dad didn't start going with me to the gym till I was like 15-ish, because that was when my brother started going with him, and my dad's been training for 25 years. So it was kind of like always a known thing. Like once you get to this certain point, like you're gonna do that. Yeah. Like it's just like a fucking man thing. Like you have to. And so kind of while I was like waiting for that, like I had kind of slowed down with flipping a little bit and trampoline stuff. So I was like, I need something to do. Yeah. Like I'm bored as fuck. Like I'd have to be doing something constantly, and that just was another outlet of that when I'm home, like throughout the day.
So back to the videos, like when you, because you've obviously now you probably put a lot of time and money into all that sort. I mean, we were talking earlier before we started. We were saying like you told me you had 2 cameras, and I was like, I barely got to get to the point where I could afford just one. Mm-hmm. And so, what is that like that process with how you get clients, or like when people reach out to you for videos? Like, what's that all like when somebody wants you to do a video for them?
A lot of my stuff comes through like word of mouth, believe it or not as much social media. Like I don't post on like my Circle M, like this business page that much, just as I've kind of switched gears of like wanting to put out what I do that much. Like I'm a very like outgoing person in a lot of ways, but I'm very private too. Like every video is different. Like people just come to me like, what do you charge for a video? I'm like, well, are you shooting like a documentary that's going to be like 2 hours long, or like what are you doing? Yeah. And people at same shit, they ask me like, what kind of camera should I get? I'm like, well, like, are you filming like birds in Africa, or are you filming porn? Like, what are you doing here? Like, they're like, what kind of car should I get? Like, dude, I don't know. Are you a mom with 7 kids, or do you like want a Corvette? Yeah, it just depends, but. Yeah, every video is different, dude, and I, like, honestly, I'm fucking winging every single one of them. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing out here. Like, really, like...
Just playing around?
I mean, no, like, I'm very, like, strategic, but not, if that makes a way. Like, I'm strategically winging this shit. I have, like, a roadmap in my head of, like, where I want and, like, what I want to get, and then it's just, like, I see, like... It's like you see like the mountain range in the distance, and
I want to get over there.
Yeah, and I'm like, well, how? There's like a fucking whole country. Like, well, how am I going to get
It's
over like looking at the Rocky Mountains from here, and you see across like the plains and everything else in between there. I'm like, all right, do I need a boat to get across there? Do I need, like, how am I going to get there? And it's just every day.
Everything planned out.
To an extent, yeah. And it's just a matter of how I'm going to get there. Yeah. Like, I know where I want to get, but am I going to go, like, all the way around the fucking world to get there? Or is it just going to be, like, a straight shot? Yeah. So.
And so how long have you been doing that? Like, when you started with making videos and stuff for people?
So first video I ever got paid for was me and Drew at the trampoline park on Lakeland Drive.
Shout out Drew Cronin, by the way. He makes great stuff.
Love you, Drew. One of my best friends. We went up there our original idea was just like to film a video and then edit it and then come back and present it to them like, hey, like this is what we do. Like we're two dumbass 14-year-old kids. We have no idea what we're doing here. Have you ever been to Butts Park in Clinton?
Clinton. No, I don't think I've never been out to Clinton.
There was like some like World War II military stuff there during like that era, and it's just like an abandoned park now. Like we were filming there, and I got the idea. I was like, dude, we need to go up there and try to like make something because Drew was better. He was pretty much only doing the editing. Like I barely edited stuff at all at the time. I was flipping more. I was like, dude, with your editing and my flipping, like there's got to be a way we can do something. So we went up there and ended up talking to one of the workers. He's like, well, y'all need to meet our manager, Brock. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, okay. The dude calls us in his office. And he's like, so, like, what are y'all here for? We had nothing prepared. I was like, well, our plan was to make this video and then bring it back. And he was like, so y'all make, like what kind of stuff? And I was explaining to him. I was like, well, I flip on trampolines pretty much. And he's like... okay. Yeah. And he started naming people. He's like, there's this guy in New Orleans that does all the videos for the park down there. I'm like, oh, yeah, Brandon. Like, that's one of my friends. And he kind of, like, looked at me and was like, okay. And then he started, I don't know if you know who Domatrick is on Instagram. He does the, like, sitting back handsprings. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah. I've seen that.
He named that guy. I was like, he does a lot of trampoline park lock-ins. I was like, I can have him here tomorrow if you want me to. That's one of my best friends. Just to, like, say, like, put that out. He was like, he's like, all right, like, who are you? Like, what's up with y'all? Yeah. And he asked us, like, just started asking us questions about videos and, like, kind of seemed into it. And he was like, so, like, how much do y'all charge for this? And Drew, I kind of, like, looked at Drew, and he was, like, had his wheels turning. I was just like, $150, like, just out of the blue. And he was like, all right, do y'all want to, like, get paid by – or no, he asked first, do y'all want to get paid by hour or per, like, job? And Drew was about to say something. And I was like, per job, just because I don't – like, my dad's told me to, like, pay, like charge per job better than per hour. Sometimes it may be better to do it differently, but at the time, that was all I knew. And he was like, all right, so how much? And we said, like, $150, like, thinking, like, we were going to split it. I was like, fuck, $75, flip on the trampolines for a couple hours? Fuck,
yeah. Not bad at all.
And he was like, all right, so, like, I'll write y'all a check. Is that cool? And we're like, yeah. And he was like, well, I can do Venmo if that's easier. And he ended up Venmoing us. And he sent us $150 each. And we were like, oh shit! Like,
you both sent it?
Yeah, he sent it out of the blue. Like after, like a week after we did it, and me and Drew called each other like, "Dude, did you get that shit too?" And he was like, "Yeah." Like, all right, like we got something here. And then that dude, excuse me, that dude actually has become like one of my like family friends. Like I did his wedding venue. Like if I stay with his family, if I go to like Birmingham, I stay with him in Huntsville. Like I become like lifelong friends with that dude and his family, and I actually do a lot of work with them still. They have their own trampoline park company now, so through a mutual friend of them, that's what I'm going to Seattle for this week. So
when are you going up there?
Thursday. I got a midterm. I got to take here in Oxford Wednesday, and then flying out.
I've never been to Seattle. I bet it's a cool city.
Dude, I hadn't been anywhere in the Pacific Northwest. Like I'm really looking forward to it. It's a short trip, so I won't really get to like explore around, but I'm excited. But yeah, back to the video stuff. It's just weird, like that one thing that me and Drew did has like opened astronomical doors for me. Like it's changed my game completely.
And obviously you really like doing that.
Oh, dude, I love it. Like, dude, being able like, I kind of bitch about it. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just gonna continue on. If I'm like really busy with stuff, I'm kind of like will complain a little bit. But I'm like, dude, like this is what you've asked for. Like every single thing that you wanted, like your 12-year-old self will be begging for what you're doing now. Yeah. So, like, don't bitch. Like, keep your head down and go. That's the way, like, I try to keep my brain as much as I can. So
you're like, and I think what could draw people towards like you is like when people just go look in your Instagram and like just see all that like those well edited videos and like do you use like certain cameras for certain shoots, or is it
yeah, like that the one we're shooting on, that wide angle, I keep that. I like that for a lot of the like party stuff, just like just the way the depth perception is shows a lot, and it can just make like a small venue look more broad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just depends on everything. Like before it was before I even had another lens, everything was on that 18 to 135 like one shot. Like I only didn't really know much at the time, just knew how to get.
There's a
shot
lot
here.
that goes into the stuff that you do. I mean, because you got to have like probably certain softwares and stuff to like. What do you edit on?
I edit on Final Cut Pro right now, and I think I'm about to switch to DaVinci Resolve.
I use Final Cut to edit the podcast.
Dude, I love Final Cut.
Too.
Like it's so good. I've had a lot of friends that use Premiere, and they like tell me to switch over, but then they'll complain about the crashing and stuff. And I don't know. I just enjoy Final Cut Pro. Like I understand the software pretty well.
It's expensive too.
Yeah,
I was lucky though, and I didn't have to. One of my friends had it on a hard drive.
Oh, you got it free?
Yeah,
I got it as a birthday present. That was my birthday present, was Final Cut Pro, because I had been on iMovie forever, and I had heard like it was like folklore of like hearing about Final Cut Pro. Like Casey Neistat was on it and stuff, and I was like, dude, like I need that.
That dude's great.
Dude, he's one of the goats.
I watched him a lot. Yeah, he would make these videos. You remember like those like boosted boards?
Yes, dude, I want one so bad. They're so fun. Yeah.
And I would watch like his videos of him like just riding around New York.
That's so cool
with his boosted boards. And like another cool thing that I don't know if you use, but like drone videos and stuff. Do you make like drone stuff?
Yeah, dude. It depends. Like I really need to be out more like doing creative stuff with my drones. I don't use them as much now unless like I have to be on a shoot using it. Like sometimes I wish I was like more creatively sometimes with stuff. Like sometimes I really get to where I'm like only shooting stuff for like projects, and I kind of hate that about myself. But yeah, I like drones a lot. They get ridiculous shots.
Yeah, I've seen some crazy stuff on drones.
I just started getting into FPV. The first like wearing the goggles and flying.
Oh yeah.
I've had one for a while, and I haven't really understood it well. But recently, I've been like trying to figure out more.
Do you have a drone?
I have the Mini 2, the DJI Mini 2, and then I have a FPV racing one.
Is it hard to fly those things?
The FPV?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Somehow my
software. You gotta
software.
be very careful with those because those.
I've broken the frame like 3 times.
Drones
already.
are. I've seen like I've been in Best Buy and I've seen like how much these drones are going for, and some of them are like 2,000. Some probably go even more than that.
Yeah. One I really want to buy is the Inspire 2, and it's like you can spend like $7,000 easily.
I feel like a drone is something that like every dude should have.
Dude, they're awesome.
Because like I want one.
But they're fun.
But then again, when like I get one, I feel like I'm gonna have them like, okay, now what do I do with it?
Yeah, it just like I have friends that use it for like scouting, hunting stuff. Like they'll fly high over field just to see if there's any stuff in there. Like I have a buddy that his full career is flying power lines, and he'll go all over just surveying power lines to make sure like everything's in check. They crash them a lot, but there's a lot of money to be made in the drone world. And that's something I really am kind of like wanting to get into when I move like out west and in a bigger market. Like have some of those like expensive like big drones to rent them out. That's something I really want to do.
And you said you're going out west. Where do you plan to go or want to go?
Salt Lake City's the plan. I have one of my friends is trying to convince me to move to Breckenridge right now. He wants
Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. I've been there. It's a nice place.
I hadn't been to Breckenridge. I drove all around it this summer. I was in like Vail and Aspen, like all around. But
I've been to Aspen as well.
Actually, I've been to Breckenridge when I was little, like 5 skiing, but I don't count that really.
Yeah.
But yeah, he dropped out of school at Ole Miss. He's been working full time. And his goal is to like buy a house in the next year to like rent, and he's either like thinking about doing it in Oxford, or he's like, dude, let's go to Breckenridge. Like it'd be cool. And I'm like, shit, like you're right. The only thing I'm hesitant about Breckenridge though is it's not as big of a market as like Salt Lake City. Like that's what I like about there is it's like a huge ass city, like massive.
Salt Lake City's pretty big.
But then you can drive 30 minutes and be in the mountains to where like if you got fucking killed, nobody would ever see you.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, going out west, that's something that I thought about too.
It's awesome.
I told you,
dude.
I don't know if you saw, I went to Los Angeles.
Yeah.
At the end of August.
You were at a concert, wasn't it? Who was your?
I went to see Molly Cruz.
Yeah, that's right.
That was.
I bet that was so great. Sick.
But that was my first time going out to California. My grandparents live in Oregon, which is also amazing. But going out to California, it's so different compared to any other. Like, it's probably one of the most unique cities I've ever been to.
It's weird.
Everyone's got their own opinion about Los Angeles, and I can go on about what people say about it, and it.
Yeah, me too.
Like I understand it's people there may not be the best or whatever, but I mean, me personally, I was just blown away by that city.
Dude, the city itself is crazy as shit. Like it's awesome. Like,
and the people in LA too are. And the thing is, like, that was the main thing that I was told was like. The people there are the worst, but everybody that I met down there, they were
cool.
Literally the exact opposite of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it's just maybe what people down in the South, like where we are, what they think about it, but that's kind of drawing me to kind of go more towards that area after I get done with school and all that.
Dude, I've learned a lot more, especially the last 2 years, is to not fucking believe anything until I see it myself.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard stereotypes of so many places that, like, everyone, like, people are just assholes, like Massachusetts and stuff. Like, I've been up there.
Everywhere. I can only imagine what people say about what the South is like.
Yeah, you bunch of inbred country fucks, like, all kind of shit.
It's all the same stuff. And, like...
I can find... There's people like that.
There
definitely is.
And when people say that, I'm just like whatever. But like, I love it. I mean, honestly, I'd like to get out of Mississippi, especially out of Jackson, particularly because Jackson is an absolute mess right now.
You need a bulletproof vest when you go back through.
Well, yeah, I might need one, but because
I got one upstairs.
I mean, it's just going to shit. I mean,
it's
ridiculous about what's going on, and like. I lived in Jackson pretty much my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
After I was born, I moved to Mandeville, Louisiana for a little bit, and then after that, I came back. But pretty much have been there my whole life, and I've just also seen like zero improvement. The only thing that I can say that I've noticed that has changed is, you know how when you're going down Highway 49, they had that construction.
49 South? Yeah.
They had the construction going on for...
Is it finished?
It's done, yeah. It's
no
fine.
shit.
So it was like 2 lanes for like 15 years. And I saw this meme on Twitter, and it said, like, you know, like the memes are like, how's it started versus
how's it going,
And someone took a picture of like all the construction going on Highway 49.
Still the same thing.
Said how it started, and then you put the same picture for how it's going. It changed. But it's I take that road to get to and from school.
I drove it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I don't remember.
Yeah, you told me you were going down to Mobile.
Yeah, I don't even remember looking about the construction now I think about it, because I hadn't gone to sleep. It was like 6 a.m. coming through. I don't remember.
Yeah, and they finally fixed it, and so it changed a lot about the traffic down there.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like when everyone talks about Highway 49, they're like, oh, the traffic down there is like the absolute worst.
It is. It was.
It is terrible, and you would think that it would only be bad around like 4, maybe 12, like when everyone's leaving work at around 5.
They just fucked it up.
Yeah, it was bad. It was just terrible all the time, and then they finally fixed it. I think like maybe 3 years ago, and now but Jackson, the city as a whole, is just like I remember I went out. I tweeted something last year. I said Jackson is starting to look like Gotham City,
dude. Literally,
because everyone's always first in something, and we're always first in the worst categories. Like I was watching a video on TikTok the other day, and he was rating the most dangerous cities to live in, and Jackson was. It's
up there in like every single one of them.
He said it's definitely in like the top like 3 between everyone.
Per capita, it's like one of the
highest
like,
for murder.
Not for murder rates, like there was like a murder like every other day last year or something.
And I saw something.
Don't fact check me on that. I don't know. So I've read some crazy article about it.
The thing is, if you told somebody that, they would probably believe you because the amount of crazy shit that goes on in Jackson.
I may be exaggerating a little bit, but like it's true. Like it's nuts.
I read a story the other day, and it said how they found like a dead body in a car, like, and they called the cops.
Shocker.
They called the cops at 1:00, and the cops didn't show up till 4 in the afternoon.
Dude, JPD's been on strike for like a year.
I know, think. But so my cousin Caroline, I hope I can talk about this, but I'm going to anyway. Her and her boyfriend were at literally probably 5 minutes from her house. They were in a church parking lot, and they got robbed by like 3 guys, and they couldn't have been older than 17.
Welcome to Jackson.
Exactly, and she told me that they came up to her and with like waving a gun, and there was 3 of them.
Yeah,
and they just jacked the car. And Precinct 4 in Jackson is probably a 5-minute drive from where they were, and they called the cops and they didn't show up.
Dude, that's so insane.
And it's just pathetic because like the Jackson cops alone, like I've never been pulled over in Jackson.
Actually Jackson, now that you say it, no, knock on wood, doesn't happen. I have good experiences with police.
Over in Jackson, but it's just gone like, and it makes me like. It's like a love-hate relationship, to be honest with me, because obviously I love it because it's where I grew up and all that stuff. But then, like, you think about what's actually going on there, and it's like it's completely unsafe to live in. I mean, me personally, I've never had any like like run-ins with like. I mean, I got robbed twice. Once. At the Chevron.
I hadn't had any problems, but I got robbed.
Where we were at the Chevron where we all used to go buy alcohol underage.
The one right there off 55?
YouTube, I'm 21, by the way, so I can talk about this. I'm 21.
The one right off 55? Yeah, I've been there once.
We would always go there to go buy, we were in high school and stuff, and go get stuff for parties.
I had a bunch of friends that would go there, yeah.
Yeah, and I went and I was waiting for one of my friends to come in, and this guy comes up to me. Now I was probably 16 years old, and I didn't know if he had a gun or not, but I was just banking on that he did, because he was kind of holding his pants, kind of that
way.
Yeah, and he was like, "Can you give me some money for cigarettes?" And I was like, "I mean, sure." And he was like, "Go in there and buy them for me." And I was like, "Okay." I mean, I was like, I was shitting my pants because I was 16. I just probably just got my license, and I go inside, and I come back, and he goes, "I need you to give me a ride to a hotel."
Dude, no shot.
And I was like, and obviously, I drove him. And I drove him to, so there's these really rundown old motels off of 55, and
I definitely know what you're talking about.
And so he goes, "Go in there and get me a room for the night."
Dude.
I go in there and I go, at first I was like, "How much is it for a room?" She told me the price, and she goes, "You have to be 25 to order a room." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I go, "Well, listen, there's this guy in my car who is very..."
You left your car with this...
But my friend was in the car.
Okay, I thought you were...
No,
I wouldn't have gotten out the car. No way.
But he was... my friend was in the car at the time, and I was inside the motel lobby, and I was like, "Listen, there's this guy who is I don't even know him. He makes me drive him around everywhere." And I go call the police and tell them that I'm dropping him off at the one. There's literally there's a hotel here, and then there's the highway, and then there's another one right there. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Tell him I'm dropping him off over there to meet." And I dropped him off with a prostitute, I'm pretty sure, because there was this really trashy looking girl standing on the curb with
I wonder what else she's doing.
Literally working the curb, as they say. Actually that's what she was doing, and then my car smelled of Newports for 2 days, because he was smoking the cigarettes in my car as well, and didn't even roll down the windows or anything.
Dude, the only way I'll let anybody in my car like that is if I already have a gun to their head.
Yeah,
and YouTube may not like that, but that's
facts. But that no, because living in you've got to be protected in some way being there, because the thing is you never know what can happen in any place.
Dude, keep my windows are so dark, you can't see in at all, and I have some strobes in my dash or my front of my windshield. And I've had some people that I could tell they were coming up, and my windshield's tinted. You can't see in. I'll just cut those strobes on. Understandable, dude. My parents really, if my dad's business wasn't so tied to like that area, they would probably move. But that's like where he's set up. Like you can't. It's not like a doctor or anything where you can just like pick up and move anywhere and have a job.
What'd your dad do?
He does landscape construction.
Okay.
Like he has a group of guys. They do like just commercial maintenance of buildings. That's what he started out doing, and then now he does like tearing out parking lots, repouring, like anything he can do on an excavator and bulldozer, pretty much.
Does he do any like paving roads or anything like that? Because that's something Jackson severely needs. Roads paved.
Dude, it's so bad. He has a paving machine, yeah. He uses it at times on jobs. He doesn't like paving as much. Just concrete stuff's better than paving, and it's just paving stuff. You're gonna have to come back and deal with it more and more than if you concrete maybe once like every 10 years to replace it. But paving is just like patch stuff here and there, and it's just he learned through trial and error. Concrete's better than paving, so not
like
much.
Completely change the subject. We said that we were gonna save stuff to talk about when we sat down. Drew, I saw something that Drew posted that talked about, it was like the Rocky picture and said that you just beaten the case for another 15 years. So, and I'm like, I've literally been dying to hear that, so I definitely would like to talk about that.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't talk about this right now, but I'm gonna, just because I've been dealing with this for a year and it's fine. Like, it's public record, really. Like, come at me.
Yeah.
So, like, I was going from Lollapalooza in Chicago last year to Glacier. It was like the end of I went on a 4-month bender last summer. Like, left after I finished finals.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, I left after my finals, had all my cash I had, everything in my truck to go, and I was just going to go till I ran out of money. And I was almost there. And I had
You didn't even make it.
Say what?
You didn't even make it?
Well, I was almost there, like, running out of money. Like, this was my last trip before. I was going to Glacier, from Chicago to Glacier National Park for 3 weeks, and then was going to come back, like, the day before school started. Like, I was maximizing summer completely. And I was 10 hours into a 28-hour drive and ended up about 65, that's like 65 hours in a Minnesota jail.
Oh, my God. What? 60? You almost spent like 3 days in jail?
It was like 2.5, yeah.
For what, though? I mean, if you can't say it, it's fine. But
I found this out. Minnesota doesn't think it's cool for you to take plants that are legal in other states to go hike and camp by yourself. They don't think it's cool at all. I found out.
That's weird, though, because
they're not fans of it, man.
Because I would think that. I mean, a lot of places are somewhat lenient about that, but I wouldn't think so. And so you had some plans.
So I had been living in Chicago, like right outside Chicago, for like the last like month and a half. Not living, I was based out there pretty much, just because those trampoline park guys I was telling you about. Yeah. His house, I was staying with him, and literally like in Illinois, if you get called, like it's recreational legal, so like. There's literally nothing wrong with it. So I was just bringing some fun stuff to go to Minnesota. I was literally going to the mountains for like 3 weeks. It was like, this is an isolation trip before school starts, like cool down, like get ready for another school year. And I had been at Lollapalooza all day Saturday. Left there. It was like a 45-minute drive back to our house. Ate at like 11:45 on Saturday night. That's an important part for the story. And got back, packed all my stuff, and it was like 2:30. And I'd planned to leave by 4, but it took me longer packing. I was like, well, shit, like I'm barely. I was like, I'll just get a couple hours of sleep, I'll be fine. Laid down, and I just like can't go to bed. Like I'm so excited to get to Glacier. Like I'd been like music festival for 4 days, and then going to this. I'm like, dude, like just keep going, like don't stop. So I like lay there for like 30 minutes. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to get in the car and start driving. Yeah. And because I'll do, like if I have a really long drive, I'll take like an hour power nap somewhere and then just keep going just because like that like resets your brain enough. Yeah. So I was like, I'll drive for a bit and then stop, take a power nap. I stopped and at this rest stop, slept for like an hour and 15 minutes, got up, was on the interstate for like 5 minutes, getting off to get gas because I didn't have much. I was doing like nap, get gas, and then like redoing. Like that was my plan. Getting off the exit, and I just see blue lights behind me. I'm like, what the fuck does this dude want? So I walked up, I'm like, what's up, dude? And within 40 seconds of, like, him coming to the window, asked to search my car 8 times. Like, this motherfucker was...
That's so crazy. Like, how did... So right when he pulled you over, he asked you to search your car.
He walked up, he's like, how are you doing, sir? I was like, good. He's like, you have any drugs in the vehicle? I was like, no. He's like, you under the influence? What are you taking today? I'm like, dude, I just woke up from a nap, like, 2 minutes ago. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? And I'm completely, like, sober. Like... This, I probably shouldn't say this. I've driven times where I should not be driving.
Yeah.
It's just everybody's done it. Like, sue me. But, like, I was like, this is what makes me mad. I've done so many terrible things that I literally got fucked the one time I was doing nothing wrong. Like, literally nothing. Yeah. And so he just was, like, determined to search my shit. And he did.
and he found...
This was on Sunday.
Herbs.
Yeah, this was on Sunday. Sunday morning at like 10 o'clock. And I didn't get out of there. No. Sunday at like 9. Didn't get out of there until Tuesday at 6. Because, apparently on Sunday, I had to, in Minnesota, I had to see a judge before I could get out. I was like, this is fucking bullshit. So I wait till the next day. I had my own room in there and everything. It was cool. I fixed my shoulder pain while I was in there because I stretched so much. Like, had a blast.
Yeah. But what is like? So I've never been to jail before. So but
I didn't plan on it.
But no one really does. But I mean, like, what is like? I mean, just from like people I really jail's always cold. What was it like? And I heard they feed you well in there though.
Well, I didn't eat.
Oh really?
I ate Cane's at Saturday at like 11:45. Didn't eat till I got a Subway sandwich Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna die in there. I will die.
They didn't feed you in there?
They did. I was just refusing to. I just wasn't gonna eat. Yeah, like I was so irritated by the situation.
Yeah.
Like I had my own room, own shower. I didn't shower, and I smelled fucking terrible. I did that on purpose. I was like, these motherfuckers, spoiler alert, all the shit got fucking dropped because they illegally fucking did everything. Yeah. Like, they had no fucking right to. So, fuck them. Just first off, I want to get that out there.
Yeah, I don't even know. Actually, no, I know my roommate last year was from Minnesota.
Yeah, I hate that state. So I was just like so pissed about everything. I was like, I'm not gonna they want to have to deal with me here. Like they're gonna have to deal with me smelling terrible. Like that's their problem, not mine. So didn't shower in there. That's didn't eat. Smart, actually. What?
That's pretty smart actually.
Well, it sucked because then once I got out, I drove 10 hours to Iowa and I didn't shower. So I walked in this.
I bet your own car wasn't smelling very good.
Dude, I was like rubbing deodorant over my whole body in there. Like I walked in this Subway like knowing like. You could smell me before I walked in. Like, it was a whole disaster. So, yeah, the food, like, they would bring the fucking tray.
Was it like a sandwich or something?
I don't even know what it was. There was some Cheerios in there I saw one time, but I was like, nah. I did drink 1 cup of orange juice. That shit was good. That was real good.
I've heard, like, mixed things about, like, the food in jail is always great. No. And I've heard other things like, it sucks.
No, it's not.
But, so you finally just got over all that. So what?
It was supposed to be done last September. So it happened last August. It was supposed to be done last September. And then it just, like, all legal shit is like, oh, we pushed this date back to this. I'm like, dude, like, I don't have fucking time to be dealing with this. Like, this fucked up all my college stuff. Like, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
and when did all that finally get, like, cleared? Like, when you were free of all those charges or whatever?
What's today? Last Friday. Not like 2 days ago. Like
like a week ago.
Like a week ago. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow. And I
at
bet
the beginning of it, they were trying to give me 15 years for that.
In prison?
I mean, if I got convicted of stuff, they were trying to give me 15 years. Yes.
What? Oh my god. Yeah, that would have not been good at all.
I mean, that just wouldn't have been an option.
No.
Like that wasn't an option.
That's like playing like an Escape or something.
Pablo Escobar. I mean, El Chapo shit, yeah.
And so, but did you ever have to go to court for that or no?
I did a Zoom court.
Oh, Zoom court, okay.
Yeah. I had a good lawyer, and the judge was actually really cool. Like, he said when we got on there, it's like, this matter, I try to keep things pretty realistically and legit. There was no need for him to come up here. He's appearing by Zoom.
Yeah.
It's like, shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was expensive to deal. Sure. It was expensive. Sure. and annoying. Like, I felt like Lightning McQueen when he got arrested in Radiator Springs. Like, that's what it was like. Because every cop that I met there, I got a ride from the jail to the sheriff's where I had to get my truck, like, out. Like, the cop gave me a ride. Like, they all fucking loved me except for the one fucking cop. Yeah. Like, they asked, they asked where I was going. I told them relations. Like, damn, that would have been sick. I'm like, yeah, it would have been. Thanks. Like, dude, I wish I could have told you, like, you should have just, like, got off the interstate, like, drove, like, 20 minutes and went around this town. I'm like,
so you said that they illegally book you?
I mean, like, legally, like, I got arrested, yes. What they did, like, to arrest me was not legal.
Okay. Like, so what did they, like, because, first off, I mean, you gotta have, like,
if they found a dead body in my truck, which they didn't, but if they found, like, it wouldn't have been able because it was, like, illegally done. Right. So, like, whatever they did, it didn't matter. And it wasn't even a lot of stuff at all. Like,
don't you have to have, like, what, probable cause to search or something? And he just pulled you over, and you probably weren't even speeding or anything, were you?
No, I wasn't. And he didn't have radar because he was a sheriff, and I have a radar on my thing, so I know it didn't go off. Like, when I looked back and saw him behind me, I'm like, what the fuck does this dude want? He pulled me over because I didn't use my blinker getting off the interstate. You go and just turns. Like, I was just getting off, and that's it. Like, that cop 100% saw Mississippi tag in, like, Minnesota, blacked out 4Runners. Like, fuck this kid.
And right when he pulled you over, he immediately asked you to search your
within
car.
40 seconds. Asked me 7 times of
either,
you
like, search your car.
Yeah, if I was like how many drugs I'd been taking, how much I'd been drinking, and what all I had with me. Like,
what? That is insane. Oh
yeah,
my God.
I was literally Lightning McQueen. I'm a hillbilly, help!
I love that movie. So I mean, but that is all that off you. So is all of that off your record now?
Yeah, it is. But it's weird. Nothing's ever off your record. I figured out because with my brother applying to law school, he had to, like, put every, like, fucking speeding ticket he got. Like, he got, like, 1 or 2 MIPs. I think just one MIP.
Yeah.
And, like, all that was off his record, but you still have to put it on there.
Yeah.
Which is so dumb. Like, why even get it all? Yeah. That's what, like, I really wasn't even concerned about all that stuff anyways. Like, once I knew it was gonna, like, get taken care of, I'm like, it's still gonna, like, you can find it either way, really. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter. And so, like, my parents want me to go to law school. I'm not gonna. So if I was gonna apply to law school, like, I have to put that on there. Yeah. And whenever I was actually... When I was saying it messed up my college stuff, I'm supposed to be in school at Arkansas State right now. And whenever I was applying to it, there's a question on the application. It was like, are you currently charged with any felonies? I was like, well, actually. But now that, like, it's done, like, I think I don't think I have to submit it for that just because it's like gone. But like for like any like law school, like higher stuff, you have to put that stuff. But I mean, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, it is what it is.
Well, it's all gone now. So, but that's...
And it's a fucking story, dude. It was a hell of a story.
That's crazy, because, I mean, one, I've never had anybody, like, deal with that sort of thing, especially spend the amount of time that you did in jail.
I mean, it wasn't like I did, like, a stretch. It was 2 days. But, I mean, it was bullshit.
But that's longer than, I mean, most of the people that we
affiliate. Most people go in for a couple hours for, like, public John bailout. No, mine.
Did you, like, sleep on, like, the bed they gave you?
Yeah.
What was that? Was that
I slept good as shit, dude.
I've heard stories that, like, people sleep, like, the best they can whenever they get
So when I first got there, like, I was, like, my body was just exhausted. I'd been going for, like, 4 days straight. And so, like, as soon as I got there, like, it took, like, 3 hours to do the whole, like, fingerprint thing. They were like, are you suicidal? Are you religious? Are you gay? Like... I literally told the dude, I was like, I would say suicidal jokingly, but, like, y'all gotta take this shit too serious. And,
feeling right about now, what you guys got me doing.
Say what?
It's like, I'm feeling suicidal right about now, what y'all got me
I'm like, you, like,
booking me.
I was just supposed to be in fucking Montana right now, and I'm dealing with y'all. Like, honestly, suicidal as fuck. Yes. So, like, fast forward to Monday morning, I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, this really, like, 12 hours, like, I'm out this, longer than 24 hours, like, I'm out. Walk down. It's like me and like 6 other dudes walk down to the little like courtroom thing in the jail, and I'm like, dude, I'm trying not to fucking laugh because it's like so. And I don't even know what I've been charged with at this point. Like, I'm just blind. Like, I got kidnapped pretty much. Like, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm just in there with these random motherfuckers, and I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, like, I wish, like, I had just, like, sunglass cameras to, like, because it was just so ridiculous. Yeah. So they'd call me in for the, like, court thing, and it's like, Judge so-and-so, I just got a call from the district attorney's office. They want to do Mr. Martin's case tomorrow. And I'm like, you motherfuckers. So I'm like, okay. Went back, a whole another day of, like, push-ups and dips and stretches. Dude, I swear to God, I literally, like, I sat, like, on the little bench, like, with my shoulders like this. I fixed my shoulder pain completely. Stretched for probably 10 hours straight.
People get pretty shredded in prison.
Yeah.
Like,
I was programming, man.
Like, have you seen, there's...
Wes Watson?
Yeah, and then there's a bunch of other, like, when Gucci Mane went to jail, he went in there, he was fat as shit. Like, he was huge. And then he came out, and he was like jacked coming out of prison. And then one of the scariest ones that I've seen is Mike Tyson. When he went to prison, and then he came out, and he had his first fight, his first boxing match, and went out of jail. And it's also, like, you look at him, and it's, like, literally one of the scariest human beings
he just looks like a demon.
Laid eyes on. Yeah, it's... But yeah, I've heard a lot of funny stories about time in jail and stuff.
When I was leaving, this is the last thing, because I want to move on. This is the best part. So, like, I'm getting out of there. The lady, her name is Miss Donna, nicest lady in the world. She's like telling me, she's like, so you got to go to the sheriff's office, like, give them this piece of paper so you can get your truck out of impound. Because my truck's been in jail too. Like, that's my best friend, and we've both been locked up in Minnesota. So she's like telling me I need to go there. She's like, it's only like a 15-minute walk. Like, one of the cops walked by and said, hey, when he goes out of here, will you tell him, like, just which way he needs to go? I want to make sure he goes the right way. And he was like, well, where's he going? Told him. He's like, well, I got to go right by there. Like, dude, if you don't want to, like, I get it. That'd be cool as shit if you could, though. He's like, come on. I walked straight out the door. They brought me in, like, same garage, like, open the door, like, get in the cop car freely. Yeah. Dude drives me there, gets out, talks to me for a minute. He's like, dude, best thing I can tell you is just never come back here. I'm like, you will never catch me here again. So we're, like, standing on the sidewalk talking, and he drives off, and I just kind of, like, this is the first time I've seen, like, daylight, like, 2 a.m. I'm like, I look around, I'm like, how did we get here? Yeah. Okay. Walk in the place, in the sheriff's office, and I tell him, like, hey, like, I was told I need to come here to give you all this so I can get the fuck out of here. And she asked me for my last name, and this dude that was like 50-something. I wish I could describe him, but I just can't. Yeah. Like, not even a real person was in here. He's like, oh, are you related to so-and-so Martin? And I was like, dude, fuck no. I'm from Mississippi. I'm trying to get out of here. Like, I was like, don't talk to me, dude. Like, I'm pissed. Yeah. Like, I'm furious.
Just trying to get the hell out of
here. Yeah, like, where I'm at and what I just had to deal with. And he's like, oh, okay. So I walk outside of the, like, sheriff's office, and I, like, look around one more time. I'm like, wow. Call the place, because she told me some places only take cash, so to make sure, like, I could pay with a card. Yeah. By that time, that dude walks out. He's like, man, you're going to Viking Towing, don't you? You need a ride? And I was like, I put my phone down and, like, looked at this dude. Most stereotypical biker looking dude. He was driving a white minivan. If that explains, in a bumfuck town in Minnesota. So I, like, look at him, like, look at his car, and then I'm like, I have nothing to lose here. Yeah. Like, I'm 17 hours away from home. Yeah. Phone's like 1%. I haven't even, like, checked. I have like 300 missed calls. I have like, sure, dude. As soon as I get in the car, I, like, put the maps in. I'm like, if this motherfucker takes one wrong turn, I'm gonna knock every one of his teeth out. If he, like, I'm not fucking around at all.
Just trying to get from point A to point B.
So he starts just trying to bullshit with me. I'm really not doing it. He's like, man, I got a good story to tell you about Viking Towing. And I'm like, what? He's like, man, back when I was in high school, I didn't get a lot of girls, so I would have done anything to get with this one girl. And matter of fact, she called me one day after school. She had been up there and didn't have her parking pass, and her car got towed. I'm like, okay. And he's like, she told me she still had her car keys. I was like, well, meet me at the railroad tracks behind the towing yard in 30 minutes. And he's like, the railroad tracks like on a hill, like above the yard. And he said, back then they just had a chain link fence. He said, they put a steel fence because of me. That's kind of like important for the story. And I'm like, okay. And he tells her, it's like, yeah, when they usually bring the cars in, they don't they don't lock the gate. They just drop them and then go in and do the paperwork. So he said, we sit out there and wait. Sure enough, dude brings the car in, drops it, goes straight inside. I gave her my keys, told me to meet her at her house, and I stole that bitch's car straight out the fucking tow yard. And I'm like, like, dude, there's no fucking way. And then I'm just kind of like, I can't help but laugh because it's like, it's hilarious. But I'm like, funny. This motherfucker's bull. Like, there's no fucking way. And
so, like, he got the girl and then just stole her car?
Yeah, stole her car back from the fucking tow yard. And
that's so funny.
Then he's like, man, can we be Facebook friends after this? And I didn't want anything to do with Minnesota. Yeah. It's like, dude, I don't fucking use Facebook, which is true. I'm like, no. Yeah. He's like, oh, man, I was going to get you to like my page. I'm the local freedom revolutionary fighter around here. Oh, and it was like, I just felt like everything, like, stopped. I was just like, I was like, what the fuck does that mean, dude? Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, man, I sue the city, I sue law enforcement, I sue the sheriffs, I sue everybody around here. Any type of authority here hates me. And I was like, this I can get behind.
Like you now.
And then he was like, matter of fact, what I was just doing in there, I was signing a lawsuit against the sheriff himself. I caught him making off-the-record calls to deputies trying to pin me on some stuff. He's like, I got him this time. I'm going to get his ass. I'm like, yeah, get that motherfucker. Fuck that guy.
That's awesome.
And so, like, right at this time, we're kind of, like, pulling up to the place, and he was like, dude, I support what the fuck you're doing. Like, don't stop. Like, I'm all for you. Awesome. Like, fuck these cops, too. I'm with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I was like, getting out of the car. Last thing he said was, if I don't do it now, your kid's generation won't have a fighting chance. And just drove off. I'm like watching this minivan go off into the distance. And I'm like,
who was that?
I was like, wipe my eyes. I'm like, how?
That just sounds like so like unreal. Like he literally sounds like a movie character or something.
Everything like just kept getting crazier then, and then so like I watch him, and then I turn and look. Sure enough, there's like a steel fence, like not just like a chain link fence, like a metal fence around the tow yard, and I'm like,
how do you get into the tow yard? Did
he just jumped the fence? It was just a regular like chain link, kind of fence. He said after he stole that, they put a steel one. So I guess he wasn't fucking lying.
If he just like drove his car through it.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Dude,
it was an adventure. So then right after that, got my truck out of the tow yard, said, hey buddy, how are you? Got in, drove 12 hours to Iowa, stayed in a hotel, and then drove back to Mississippi after that. That was kind of like a sign. I was like, you know what? I've been going hard for like 3 months. I probably need to slow down a little bit. Yeah, it was
that's
it was a fucking adventure.
So let's talk about one little thing before we wrap up. So I'm also going to change the subject again and go back to the videos.
Yeah, and stuff. Whatever, dude. Yeah.
So, what is like your end goal, or like? I know you said you have like steps of like what you want to do.
Yeah.
But like, is it something like, what do you want to do like in the long term with this?
I want to build like a 360-degree media company. Like whether that's like. For example, like right now, like pretty much my stuff is like just kind of like production stuff, but I mean, kind of not really production, but like in a way. Yeah. But like an example, like say like Under Armour comes out with like a like new summer line campaign and they want to promote it. Like I want to be the ad agency. I want to be the company that has the models that like do everything, that produces their content and then distributes everywhere, and also like runs the social media, like all the way around media, like every way. I want to just. I want to have my hands in every avenue.
In the whole the media aspect.
Yeah, in every possible way. Like
that. I mean, obviously that's continuing to grow. Like, as I think that like the internet and like stuff that we can now do and stuff, I think that's going to be like one of the biggest impacts like on us as a human race, but then also as a generation, like our generation, like the whole like influencer thing, and like before I spoke to you, I was with JC Polk, who's doing like fitness influence and stuff like that. It's crazy how big all that's gotten.
It's crazy.
You kind of dipped your toes in a little bit with TikTok for a little bit, I know, but
yeah, dude. That was mostly, a lot of that was I was living up here by myself and I was really bored.
Just having fun.
I wasn't hanging out with like I went like 2-3 weeks up here by myself without talking to a single soul. Like I didn't speak a word to another person for like 3 weeks. Like I was just training for like 2.5-3 months this summer hard, and just I was very creative with videos. So I was just by myself and just my creative wires were turning. But I've kind of been on the fence about this for a while, and honestly, this summer kind of made me rethink it a lot. I really want to be out of like the influence game more and build like a legitimate business on the back end, to where if like where I go through my phases where I'm like, I kind of want to piss some people off, like the TikTok that like got motherfuckers pissed, to where like build a business to where I can say what the fuck I want and I can't be fucked with.
Right.
Like if my company is like, if I have a contract with Nike that does all their media year round, and I just want to get on and say like, fucking, I like skinny girls who are good fucking shape, like that fucking video said. Like I saw a girl that was comment something that was like good luck in your job interview about this. I'm like, bitch, like, I'll work for my fucking self forever. Fuck you. Yeah. But I just want to be able to be untouchable in that way. So that's why like I really don't post as much of like my work stuff. I'll post like the party stuff that's like people want to see that, but a lot of my like work stuff I don't really post, because I'll kind of want to like stay in the dark a little bit. Like if I like, I don't say, the goal was to have a fucking jet. So like 15 years, if I just like have it, like people see like a picture with a jet, they're like what? How do you get that? Yeah. Don't really want to like post that. And if I decide to like do like influencer full time, I want to do it to where I don't have to do it for money. Right. Like where I'm not like, oh well, I need to change, like take this cuss word out of this caption because it's gonna cost me this brand deal to do this post. Like fuck it. Like fuck them. Yeah. Like I'm not here to kiss anybody's ass, really, and
just do you.
Pretty much, Like
that's awesome.
But like my Instagram stuff, really, that I post is just kind of like side. Like I get like while I'm traveling to do other stuff. Like the whole reason why I was out in Utah West this summer, that was like for work stuff, and I never posted anything about that. Like people see like me like climbing mountains and just like fucking around. Yeah. But they don't ever see that stuff, and that's on purpose now more than ever, really, just to keep that safe and away from anything, to be able to build something and be unfuckwithable. That's my word. Yeah.
Well, I will definitely be looking out in the future. But this was fun. I'm glad
a lot of fun, dude.
Yeah, I'm glad we finally got to do this. And definitely in the future, we'll definitely have to do it again.
Probably sound like a lunatic from the story about Minnesota.
No, that was funny.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude?
But thank you for coming on. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad we finally did this.
Do it again.
We've been trying to link up for like a year.
No, for people watching, this is actually the first time that
we talked for maybe 10 minutes before this ever started.
This is like the first time that he and I have actually like sat down and talked to each other before. But so that was pretty cool too. But
it was a lot of fun.
We'll definitely do it again. And yes, thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
I'll see y'all next week.